Hey, so in this video, we will see how we can create a little bit more complex queries with the Django-rf, mainly using the queue objects. This is what they are called in Django. And in the next video, we'll be looking at some common functionality, for example, querying the dates or date times in the Django-rf. But for now, let's just focus on the query object and how we can actually use it to implement a little bit more complex queries. Maybe you can say realistic queries. But first thing, I want to recommend this video. I will put a link in the description. It's called Things Every Developer Absolutely Positively Needs to Know About Database Indexing. So I was like planning to create a video about indexing, but I was like afraid I will mess up some stuff. So I was like doing some research, and this is one of the best videos I found. So yeah, just like a small recommendation before we actually start. And also before we start, I think now it's a really good time to switch to Postgres. Okay, so let's first do that. Now to do this, I'll put a link in the description for the Django documentation, or you can just Google it, but mainly we need to install this package or this driver. Not sure how I can pronounce that, but this is the driver. You will find a link in the description for it. And to install it, you will basically type pip install this command. You can see it, right? Yeah. So let's actually install it. Don't forget to activate a virtual environment. So this package will be installed locally, not globally. So python-m for module pip install this package. So I already installed it, so everything is fine. Now to connect to Postgres, make sure you have it and it's working. Make sure you have your password and username. For me, I installed it with Docker. It's really easier that way. So let me just cheat. I will go to my settings in the other tab. 1 second. So we need to give it a bunch of stuff. So first thing is the engine. So this is like the internal package used from the package that we actually just installed. This is it. Now we need to give it the name of the database in Postgres. I will name this one KOI for now. I will change it later, but just to show you how we connect or switch the drivers. Now the password, in my case, I made the password root, and the user, in my case, it's also Postgres. And just for the reference, I will leave these here, the SQL LIKE ones. Okay, you can see it. So now the only thing left to do is just to run the app or check for the migration. So Python manage show migrations. We will see an error that this database does not exist. So to resolve it, let's actually go open like any database management system you want. I hope that you can see this, but I'm just gonna go to the Postgres like tab. This is the Beaver, really recommended tool for working with databases. I'm just gonna say, hey, create database, and I'll just give it this name, and that's it. I have now a database with the same name. So let's actually do the same command again, show migrations. We will see that we don't have any migrations actually, or we don't have any migrations that already have been run. Okay, so let's just run them. So Python manage migrate. Everything is fine. Now if you hit here refresh, you'll see we have our tables in the public schema. So that's fine for now, but we need some fake data. So I won't like waste your time. We already went through how we can actually generate fake data. We have this Python manage seed command that will do it. I already did it in another database called learning, and you can actually see it here. So I have it here. Okay, so let's actually now just run the show migrations. I should see that I have everything, and this is really nice. I could just like immediately switch between databases, and this is usually how like tests are written. You will have a database that will work on test, and a database will work like on the normal development mode, and you would just flip it like this, just to flip this variable, and that's it. Very interesting and very nice. So this is it for switching the driver to connect to Postgres. Now we have it, and I already have some fake data in the learning database. For example, I run it a lot. I have 21,000 posts. So now we will start writing a little bit more complex queries, and just like uh, like everything else, I'm just gonna put everything in the URLs. I know it's ugly and it's not clean, definitely I agree, but it will like show you everything in a single file. You can see everything without looking around that much. So first query, first query we need to run is select where the first name equal to this and the last name equal, or sorry, the last name equal to Jacob. We didn't see how we can implement like the or statement in the Django-rf. Now to do this, we need to use something called the queue objects, and you can import them from the same path here. DjangoDB models, then just the queue, and it's capital. This is the implementation. Let me just, okay. I need to keep check like OBS, just in case you can't see what where I am. So yeah, I think that's very nice. So yeah, let's now select where the first name equal to this or last name equal to Jacob. So let's actually do it. So I'm gonna implement a path. I'm gonna name it or give it an endpoint of complex queries path 1. Now we need to give it like the shortcut that we learned. So list API view and pass it as a view. And this is sorry path. And the name will be the same as the endpoint. Let's now actually add the query. So query set will be equal to user dot objects dot filter. I need to type like where first name will be equal to this, or last name will be equal to Jacob. Let's actually do prefetch related like the posts, just to recap on that. This will like do a join with the posts. And the last thing, we need to pass it a serializer class, and I'm just gonna create a new one for the sake of this series, or for the sake of this video. I would call it serializer, user serializer 3. Let's go and import it from here, and let's go to the serializers. I'm just gonna copy paste like really fast. It's just like a copy paste from these serializers that we already wrote, but I removed like the categories from the relationship from the serializers. So this is the user serializers 3. These are the fields. Posts is this serializer without the categories. It's really simple. I just don't want to waste time writing that. Maybe I should actually create videos just focusing on serializers, but right now we are focusing on the queries. So yeah, this is my query at this moment. Let's actually now go and see it. So yeah, we need to run the server. So Python manage run server. I think we have an error here. Filter name, yeah, it's first name, sorry. Now it's everything runs. So I just wrote a typo here in case you didn't catch it. So run server. So let's go to localhost users complex queries 1. We should see these. Like we have only one result, and this is like the first name and this is last name. But we actually made a mistake. Let's go to the SQL query. This is why I like the Django debug toolbar. So this is the where condition we have. Can you see it? So where first name equal this and the last name equal Jacob. So we need an or here, right? And to do this, this is where the queue object will actually help us. So since we imported it here, let's come down and type where queue and just like wrap that and remove the comma. This will be a single like expression in Python. Add this pipe character and this also in a queue. So this will be where first name equal this and last name equal Jacob. This will be an or. By default, the joining or the where statement, each time you put a condition, it's just an and. So this will convert it into a where. So let's run that again. We will see we have now more results, and we have like 2 pages. Since each page contains 10, let's check the SQL. We have now the or here. And by the way, if you like when you are starting to build more complex queries, you will some point need to use the queue with an and. To do this, just add the and character, and this will give us the original result we started with, which is just this single user. As you can see, it's now an and query. So yeah, query objects are really nice. So let's make things a little bit more exciting now. I wrote like the comments for myself to guide me. So we need to create or select where the user first name starts with R, capital and R small, and the email does not end with @hotmail. So this is like my goal now. So I'm just gonna copy these and paste them here. I will just remove the query set arguments. I need to add a comma here since I'm in a list. So this is like the second query we will write. So select where the user first name starts with R, is capital, and the email does not start with Hotmail. So I'm gonna type user.objects.filter. So we saw the queue object, so I'm gonna add it here. So where first name 2 underscores. So this is like a special operator in the Django-rf, or a special keyword you can say. This is like at the end just the quags, these like double stars, anything. But they will format like the keys you pass with the values to extract and build the query. So starts with will use the like operator or the like statement in SQL. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like SQL. So it's this operator, the like. This is like you will give it a pattern and it will filter on it. So start with will give us the pattern that with this string, for example. So any first name that starts with PO, this query will return. And in my like comment here, I said MR, so I'm gonna paste it here. So any first name starts with PR, or any email that ends with 2 underscore, then ends with @hotmail. So this will return to us all the first or the users that ends that their name starts with MR, the M is capital, and their email ends with Hotmail. Let's now do prefetch related, because our serializer actually tries to fetch the posts. So now we have like 0, nothing, because so select star from users where first name like this, or email ends with @hotmail. I think I made mistake maybe somewhere, but I should type like this. This will mean not, okay? Because I was planning to show you, but this is what like I wrote here. So, and the email does not ends with Hotmail, but I was wondering, like thinking, why we don't have any data. Maybe because we don't have any, like these 2 conditions are wrong. So let's actually type where not the email ends with Hotmail. So select all the names where the first name starts with MR, or the email does not end with @hotmail.com. Okay, we have some, and all the emails ends with these, like @Yahoo, @whatever. Oops, we have this guy that his email ends with @hotmail. Okay, sorry. I wrote it in a wrong way. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the query. Sorry, my bad. So we have where user.firstname like MR, and sorry, or not the email ends with @hotmail. So this is what these like percentage means. This means this string, the first name, should start with r, then anything. Here it should start with anything, then it ends with @hotmail.com. I hope it's clear. Maybe I made some things confusing, but this is like how to do or not queries. So this is like, I think this is called tilde in English, right? So this is how we do it. Yeah, I think that's fine for now. Now another thing like this here, I think you already like wondering how I can filter where I need to make every string in the first name column a lowercase. So for example, this will come from a search bar, right? So the user will might type like Ruwaz my name like this, but in the database I have my name as Ruwaz with the R small. So they are not equal. So I need to make both of the column and the query that I'm gonna filter on small characters. So this is the next query. Just like making the column lowercase. So to do this, we need to import function from django.db.models.functions import lower. So I have actually to make like some videos about these functions because they have really powerful functions here. As you can see, so many of them. So I need to make some videos about them eventually. But for now, let's actually start with the lower. Now to use it, I'm just gonna copy paste this. So these would be complex queries 3. I mean, it really depends if you like. Maybe some of you won't see these are complex as complex. But yeah. So I'm gonna start. Hey user dot objects to convert the first name column into lowercase strings. I'm gonna use the annotate. I'm gonna add an extra column to the query result. I'm gonna call it a lower or lower first name. This will be equal to the lower class. I'm gonna create a new instance and pass to it the name of the column, which is first name. Then I'm gonna type filter and okay, I was just checking that you can see what I'm typing. Okay. Now I'm gonna filter where the lower first name column start with this, as you can see. And let's say, for example, the user will type anything in the search bar. So let's say we got from the query params or whatever RO like this. So we will convert it to a lower. This is how you will implement that. Now I'm just gonna do prefetch related the posts. I have a video. If you are just watching this before the previous videos, I have video about prefetch related. This is like will answer why we are adding that. So yeah, let's actually check that. So query complex query is 3. Let's check the query. Okay, so now we have this where lower user.first or user first name. I mean, these names keeps confusing me. I hate the way that Django names the tables, but yeah, we can change that, but let's just forget about it. Where the first name, and we are converting that into lower, equal this arrow. So yeah, I think this huge. I think this is very realistic. You will search for something like this. Yeah, I think that's very interesting. Now the last one, I'm gonna show you just a random example where we do a bunch of like filtering on relationships with the query object, adding adding two conditions, three conditions. Two of them are between two brackets, like these are or and another condition. Like I'm talking about, for example, where uh, condition 1 or condition 2 and condition 3. So we were gonna do this kind of query now. So I will just copy this, paste it here, complete queries 4, and yeah, okay. Let's remove that. So user.objects. So let's actually like discuss what this query will be. I'm gonna get the posts and the categories. I'm gonna select the users and get the posts for each user, then get the categories for each post, and I'm gonna filter the categories for each post where the name is like the name of the category is C++ or JavaScript. At the same time, like I'm gonna add another condition where the first name or last name ends with like specific characters, something like this. So yeah, since I'm gonna query on the categories and the post, I'm gonna add them at the start at like prefetch related. This is object, sorry. So prefetch related. I'm gonna add posts, then two underscores categories. This will do an actual join to get the posts for each user, then the categories for each post. Now I'm gonna annotate the result query or the end result with the lower first name with the lower of first name, and then last name lower will be equal to lower last name. Then I'm gonna do filter. So I need to like type where the lower first name starts with RO or the last name lower contains MO. I'm just like doing some random stuff. To be honest, it's really hard to come up with very realistic example, but I think this syntax, this way of writing will like show you how we can like map this to your like work or what the thing you need to do. So I'm gonna type where lower first name starts with like RO. I'm gonna convert that into lower. So and or the last name lower contains. So this like if any place in this like column we have MO, I'm gonna convert that into lower. Sorry, equal. And now the second part where the posts categories like this and two underscores where the name of each category, another two underscores in equal and a list where category name C++ or category name is JavaScript. So this is the in operator in SQL. So if the name exists in any one of these options, we will return it as well. So yeah, this is like a little bit more complex than the rest of them, but I think it follows the same pattern. So yeah, let's actually go and check that out. So complex query 4, it works. So let's go to the SQL. As you can see that it's starting to look ugly, but yeah. So here is the condition. As you can see, we group these together here, or what does that end? Yeah, I think here. So where lower first name starts with RO then whatever, or lower last name ends with MO. Or sorry, contains. As you can see, we have two double like percentages. This means where MO it exists anywhere after you convert that into a lowercase. And after like these two are this in a single condition. As you can see, we have parentheses between them. And category name in C++ or JavaScript. So yeah, but we are not showing the categories here because I can do it really fast. So here, go to this. I can just use the post category serializer, this one. Now this should work. Yeah, and we still have 4 queries, which is very nice. So yeah, JavaScript exists. Yeah, I really hope this like is useful on anything. In the next video, just like I said, we will be focusing or seeing some more examples on these functions that will help us a lot, especially in the data. I really like want to do some querying on the dates, how we can extract the year and query on that. Let's get the users where the register date is like 2019 and like below, something like this. So yeah, don't want to waste more of your time. I hope it was useful, and bye.